mean, we have so much poverty now in England.
So,
It's crazy. You know, England is just like go around in the center of the city. You'll see so much poverty. You'll be like, "Is this a city?" It is really, really bad. You know, you got people lying on the streets, got a blanket over them, all kind of messed up stuff.
hmm
People, and it's full of tourists here.
wow, yeah,
You know, walking over boots. You got people laid out in the street. I've seen them laid out in the
right.
direction. They don't cross their
I see that
legs.
yeah,
Legs out in direction to the road. So you got to walk around.
yeah, yeah. I see it in New York City too.
Yeah.
At the time that I was working in Manhattan for about 5 years,
Mm.
I saw some pretty gruesome things there because after 11 p.m. you're in the twilight zone at that point. It's a totally different world after 11 p.m.
Yeah.
And if you're still there, like I was working on the graveyard shift,
Mm.
you're in for one hell of a sobering wake-up call as to the underbelly of society that nobody ever sees.
Just crawls out, doesn't it?
It just crawls out. And I saw a situation where right across from Bryant Park one night, I hear this, this must have been at 2 o'clock in the morning, I hear this argument going on,
Mm.
and it was two homeless people fighting over who's going to sleep at the sewer hub or the venting in the street there, because there's usually warm air. As bad as it smells, that's the only
Right.
warmth they get through the night. And I was like, holy shit, this is what it's come to,
Yeah.
you know? And God forbid, you ever come to New York, do not ever go to the back section of Penn Station. Don't ever go there.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of going there one night, and the stuff I saw going on back there, I had to burn my fucking eyes out after
Yeah.
I saw it. So,
Jeez. Yeah.
some pretty horrific human degradation. I learned that there's 3 levels of homelessness.
Yeah.
Okay, and you after working there for so many years, you get to realize who's who real fast, and even get to know some of them by first name.
Oh, I know some of them
but
already. Yeah, I know some
yeah.
of you around here. Yeah.
And it was weird because it's like, it's not like talking to your next door neighbor, that's for sure. But so,
No.
but
no.
the first level of homelessness is the guy, he just became homeless.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's in
Because
shock.
he
He's
still
in shock.
has. He's in shock. He still has all of his wits about him, though,
Mm.
and he's walking up to you, ask him to change. He's always got some kind of a line or a spiel or a scam going on as to
Yeah.
why he needs money and all that. And
Yeah.
you can see right through it after a while, but you understand what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and that's like the first level. The second level is where it starts to get a little scary, because then when after so many weeks or so many months, they pass into the second level of homelessness, which is they're having full-blown conversations with somebody invisible who's standing right behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because they're looking right at you, but they're looking through you, and it's a little eerie because you turn around right away and you're like, who the hell are they talking to?
Mm.
And you think they're talking to you, but then you realize, no, they're not. Okay?
Yeah.
So this is when they start to lose their wits. And then the third level and the final level, like the total point of no return,
Oh yeah.
are the ones who are just sitting there in a coma, completely zoned out.
Yeah.
They just sit there, and you wave your hand in front of them, you try and talk to them,
Yeah.
and they're just it's like the 40-yard stare. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
They're just gone. And psychologically, there's no way to pull them back. They're just gone for good.
Mm-hmm.
And so I put that out there because I point out, if we're going to solve this homeless issue, you got to do it before it reaches the second phase.
Yeah.
Okay? Because once they start reaching the second phase, it's not too long for them to head into the third phase, and then that's it, they're gone.
Yeah.
And there's no way to
Bring them
help
back.
them regain their sanity again.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and that was deplorable. When I started realizing the 3 phases of homelessness, I was like, holy shit, this is how it really happens.
Mm.
So, and it's definitely scary to see it firsthand 5 years in a row.
Mm.
Plus, on top of that, I mean, the horror show that you see on the streets at night, I mean, people who are just dealing with disease and pestilence that they can't heal because they can't get the medicine for it.
Yeah.
I saw a guy who, I saw him on a few occasions, and I noticed he always had his shoe and sock off. He was kind of like trying to air out his foot, and it looked like his foot was discolored, like almost like he had diabetes.
Yeah.
As the months went on, I saw him one last time, and I'll never forget this.
Yeah.
Part of his foot
Mm.
had rotted off,
Yeah.
and what was sticking out was the bones of his toes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all what was left was the skeletal bones of his toes sticking out. And I looked at that, and I just was like,
Wow.
I think that was the final straw at that point, because I had already been working for 5 years straight in Manhattan.
Yeah.
And when you do that, I don't know how these people do it for 40 years or so, but just after 5 years of working the graveyard shift in the city at the New York Post,
Right.
it just emotionally wears you down. It grates on you.
Of course. Of course.
It really beats you down when you see all this stuff that everybody else ignores.
You become exhausted. You become exhausted by it.
Yeah,